This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, you guys any...
I'm not sure. It says my speakers are working. Oh, actually, I guess I can't put it on this way. Hang on a second. See if it. No, that's not it. I can hear that, but it also messes up my hat. And God forbid your hat's messed up. So you won't worry about that. Good evening. It's Sunday here in the Sunshine State. I like saying that because when you live in Florida, you realize that it might be the Sunshine State, but the liquidity always is around. Hey, Jimmy Farrell, I don't give a fuck. Do the Yankees? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. All I know is that they ended a 6-game losing streak. They beat the Mariners, actually whooped the Mariners after giving up a 5-run lead yesterday. So fuck you. I'm in a mood tonight. I'm in a mood tonight because it's the 4th of August, and the 4th of August reminds me of somebody who I despise. It's their day. It's their fucking day. So fuck them and fuck you, Jimmy Farrell. So, okay, just because you brought it up, only because you brought it up, asshole. Let's see here. MLB standings. Okay, 2024. Only because Jimmy Farrell's going to be a dick. Okay. The Orioles and Yankees are both tied with 67 wins atop the American League East. The Phillies have 66 wins atop the National League East. As I said, Jimmy Farrell, fuck you. I can't be any more, what's the word I'm looking for? Blatantly, obviously blunt about that. Fuck you. I'm okay. Hey, I had my day before they did, so that should make it. So, okay, so Asylum's birthday was yesterday, I'm taking it. So, belated happy birthday to you, Asylum. I think I said something on your Facebook. I think I did. And so the Yankees have a better record by one game. I don't give a flying fuck. They're tied for first place. They're not in first place by themselves. So, again, to Jimmy Farrell, fuck you. Oh, okay, on the first. Okay, well. Still, I hope that Asylum had a great birthday. Again, August 4th is a very day I don't like remembering. I will give Jimmy Farrell props for remembering that the anniversary of Thurman Thomas's death. Small planes, man. Small planes. Buddy Holly, Thurman Munson, Roy Halladay, the guitarist, probably the best guitarist I know. I brain fart in his name. The best guitarist that I can think of. It'll come to me. And yes, I did see that. Stevie Ray Vaughan, thank you. And for those that have been paying attention, John Gruden shows up at Chiefs training camp today, dressed in all putrid red. So, I mean, if you're gonna, and I get it. I mean, I can't really fault the man because the coach, Andy Reid, is a good friend of his. They were both on the staff. It was at the Mike Holmgren's staff. It was Holmgren begot Andy Reid and begot John Gruden and begot a couple of, the lineage there. And I'm trying to think of if Holmgren was is a Bill Walsh guy. I'm not sure, but I know that if you go from that portion of the tree, that tree is successful. The Bill Belichick tree is like cancerous poison oak. Horrible lineage. to include the aforementioned, actually he wasn't mentioned, but he has been previously mentioned on my program, Josh McDaniels. Fuck you too, Josh. Did I see the Pete Rose doc? No, I did not see the Pete Rose doc. I did put up a picture today because somebody was kind enough to send it to me. About that they did a clip of a picture that was a portion of the receivers Netflix. I haven't gotten Netflix yet. I will be getting Netflix soon. So they got a picture. They said, "Hey, you made the clip, or you made the thing." I thought was going to be, when they say that, I thought, "Oh, cool. They really got a picture of me in it." Yeah, I was there, but I was behind another guy, and behind another guy, so I wasn't the main. It was cool, but it's like, who cares? It's kind of like a face in the crowd type of thing. I would like to see a documentary of Pete Rose. I still think, and yeah, I know that maybe I'm one of the few people that are positive this. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he needs to be there for his accomplishments on the field. And then they should have an asterisk with Pete was banished from baseball for betting on baseball, which was contrary to the rules of the game. I.e., they should have like a wing. I would, like I said, is Shoeless Joe in the Hall of Fame? Or any of the members of the 1919 White Sox that were banished? I mean, even Paul Hornung and Alex Karras made the Pro Football Hall of Fame for betting on baseball. They're in the NFL Hall of Fame. So why the fuck should Pete Rose not be? Here's something. O.J. Simpson's in the NFL Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure. And he was a likely, can't say it officially, he is a likely murderer. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame. Unless they took his shit out. But I know he was in the NFL Hall of Fame. I haven't been keeping up. But your accomplishments on the field or on the diamond should be what gets you into the Hall of Fame. It's not about manners. Ty Cobb is in the Hall of Fame, and he was one of the biggest pricks in baseball, right? Ty Cobb, the hits king before Pete Rose became the hits king, and he was a son of a bitch. He was a gambling, conniving, drinking. Came from a murderous family. I think his mom shot his father when she was fucking some other guy. But it doesn't matter. It's not Ty. Ty Cobb's accomplishments were such. Pete Rose's accomplishments were such. Had, other people had accomplishments like that, like if Reggie Bush was more than just a, flash in the pan, you know what I'm saying? And I like this comment from Dandy Don. Thank you there, Don. Good seeing you as well, brother. Always good to see Don. Pardon me. My acid reflux burping. MLB's in bed with all the gambling companies for tonight. Now who runs gambling? The mafia. Really? Did not know that. But now the NFL's in bed with gambling, right? And like I said, if the NFL's in bed with gambling and you have Paul Hornung and Alex Karras, who were suspended a year for gambling, they're in the Hall of Fame. It's stupid. Is O.J. Simpson still in the Hall? I'm going to look that. I'm going to look that up. O.J. Simpson, NFL Hall, because I think he was. Hall of Fame. Well, it says Hall of Fame. Yeah, Hall of Fame 1985. First Buffalo Bill to be so honored. Okay. Inducted in College Football Hall of Fame in 83 and 85. He was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. I don't see anything where he was taken out of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, he died earlier this year. If I did it, a confession, 2007. I might get it online one day. I don't really care. We can't prove that he was either a murderer, but I can pretty much think. I can pretty much think that he was involved somehow, in my estimation. That's all. But boy, we really got off the bandwagon here. And thanks again. Yeah, I get Jimmy. I get it. I get it. We know. Fuck. We know. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Honestly, I don't. Simpson was a scoundrel. And Ed, by the way, is a big USC homer. Ed is a big USC homer. That is his school. He is an alumnus, but he knows a lot of USC. Obviously, he knows Marcus very well. I don't want to go into the Marcus OJ connections. And I'm hoping you are correct on this, because you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. The Baseball Hall of Fame is fucking Pete while he's alive. Kind of like the Pro Football Hall of Fame fucked Ken Stabler while he was alive, and they fucked Cliff Branch while he was alive, and they put him in posthumously, right? Because they don't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing that he made the Hall of Fame. That's what it is, in my estimation. They're fucking him while he's alive. Oh, and Don, here's the other thing. I'm thinking that OJ was involved, but if you also do the glove thing, right, which was the major center point, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. OJ either did the killing or he was covering up for his son. That's what I'm saying. And I didn't see that. So yeah, if that's what the documentary says, it's obvious to me. They're not going to give him the satisfaction of him going in when he's alive. That's the big fuck you for Pete. Because when he's in the Hall of Fame and he's alive, he can offer more for his autograph, because then he can put Hall of Fame 20 whatever, and he gets more money for it. They're fucking him now. That's how they're fucking him. And I said that before you said the other thing about that's why you need to watch. I will watch it. Is it another Netflix thing? Because I gotta get Netflix, and I'm thinking about getting Apple TV, not any Apple products, because fuck Apple products. Good evening to Velvet, who, am I allowed to say it, who had a major, Showtime. Okay, well, I got Showtime. I'll have to look for it. But I'm gonna say to Velvet, please keep positive thoughts towards the sick and the infirmed. Obviously, those of us that aren't in good health, Dandy Don Webb is one. I'm not saying anything, but Don's actually doing better because we've heard from him. Ed Winchell and I suffer from shit. Okay. Y'all saw OG, what was it, either last week or a couple days ago? OG's got medical shit going on. And Velvet suffered a grotesque, not for me, but for most other people, a grotesque breaking of her ankle. And I'm not going to say anything beyond that because don't want to do defamation. But really fucked up her ankle. It was kind of like, from the pictures that I saw, how it resembled Napoleon McCallum's injury, where a knee that would bend this way actually was bent the other way. It was like that. It was gross. I mean, not to be. I mean, I can see it, but it's definitely a horrible injury. We were on the other case, the change of venue would have convicted him all day. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. And Don is a Pete Rose fan from his boyhood home. Dirty, rotten scoundrel, but on the field Hall of Famer for when he passes, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Well, good, because he deserves it. Pete Rose is a pedophile on top of all this shit. Fucking young girls. Groomed young girls to fuck. That's alleged. Don't tell Pete's lawyer that I said, but allegedly he was singled out, or there was information about him grooming young girls to go to spring training, and he was fucking young girls. Allegedly. Oh, that's in the doc and he denies it. Well, of course he's going to deny it. But you say, yeah, I fucked young girls. No, you ain't gonna say anything. He just, within the last couple of years, he finally admitted to gambling, right? And then this shit came out. Of course he's going to deny it. Rodgers being on that list is ridiculous because he's only playing. Yeah, I agree with Ed on this one. What the fuck did Aaron Rodgers do to deserve? I mean, for past accomplishments, I don't see the numbers. I know I saw that. I think Max was 10, top 10. That's deserved. So Max being top 10, that's deserved. I don't know who the numbers are. As Ed Winchell brought up, that per reports, AOC is struggling and Minshew is kicking his ass. But there are other reports that state the opposite. I do think, though, that the Raiders offense it's going to take a bit for the Raiders offense to gel. Seriously, it's going to take a while. That's why those guys are going to be going through camp and going through the games, and they're going to get mixed snaps to figure out who's going to be the quarterback. And, oh, by the way, if Anthony Brown is the best quarterback, great. One scene you called a reporter babe, the reporter didn't like that. It's a generational thing. It's a generational thing. It is. It's a generational thing. I call girls babe. And it is it sexist? Yes, but I don't mean it in a sexist way. It's just a generational thing. Hey, babe, how you doing? It's like, in the 40s, guys like Frank Sinatra would call girls dames or broads, right? It's a generational thing. Seriously. And I hate the PC world that we live in. I hate it. You agree that Tyreek Hill got number one? He's top 5 from what he did last year. I don't see the numbers. I didn't. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care, because what does that do? Do you get a possibly a roster bonus, right? Because I know you get a roster bonus for being named as an All-Pro, or being named to a Pro Bowl, or being named as the offensive or defensive or special teams player of the year. That's money. But is there anything in his contract that states that if you are named on the BSPN top 100, that there is a bonus for that? If you have a good agent, maybe, but I doubt seriously that was written in anybody's contract. I don't fucking care. I will say, the one thing I like about Herm Edwards is this quote: "You play to win the game." And I agree that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be on the fucking list at all. He had 4 snaps. Maybe it was 3. It was 3 or 4. I know it was no more than 4. He has 3 to 4 snaps. Then his fucking leg gets bust or fucked up, and then he leaves. No, he shouldn't be in there. Angiogram Tuesday, if plaque, and then full blown stroke. June hospital. Eat healthy. I need to eat healthier, Don. You're right. I need to eat healthier. By the way, I'm going to tell you this. If the power goes out, and I had a power outage shortly before the show went on. I had a power outage. It came back just in time for me to push play. So if I go away, because I'm watching DirecTV, and you have there's problem with the yada yada yada. I can watch. Actually, no, I can't. I can't watch. The apps. I can't watch the apps because you need the internet for the apps. So if the power goes out, it's not me, or actually it is me, but it's not me saying fuck you. Doug, good to see you. Doug Yapel, for my boy from Erie. Hollywood. I've been hearing that Hollywood Swinging song a lot recently. Hollywood Swinging. Cool. Good to see everybody. I thought Devontae was too low. Well, what was his number? Who was above him? Was Tyreek Hill above him? He was better than him. So it's all debatable. Who cares? Who cares? Big Easy. Good to see you, brother. Daryl, Big Easy Lang. Look at that mug, man. Good to see you. By the way, Daryl, if since I see you're on Facebook, come over to YouTube. Okay, let me do this. Okay, see there, Captain Jack Rackham Levy. There may be, there's already been swearing. I dropped some F-bombs within the first 30 seconds. I told fucking Jimmy Farrell, fuck you. Fuck you. Kind of like I wasn't a full flight. Well, actually kind of was. What was the guy's name? Francisco. When I had that beat, there was an asshole that was talking to me about being a better, bigger fan than me. He was gonna he was gonna meet me in a parking lot. We were gonna decide, via fisticuffs, who's a bigger fan. Fuck you, Francisco. But Daryl, Big Easy, Emily, good to see you, brother. Come over from Facebook. And I am saying that I am on. Let me see, my profile, my personal profile, the Captain Jack profile. I can't broadcast to the. I don't know why. I used to be able to broadcast to a page, Captain Jack Scallion, but they won't let me do that anymore because they lose this connectivity. I don't know why. I can hear the rain. So when you hear the rain, it's coming down. What was up with the standing fan in your post? No, Velvet, it wasn't about him. It was about ignorance. Did you bother to read the post? Obviously you did not. Which I'm gonna be very nasty to you, Velvet, and I'm sorry about that, which is ignorant. And ignorance is a push button with me. I'm sorry. But if you're asking me, so what about the dude, and you didn't bother reading the post, and that was ignorance on your part for not reading the post. I said it twice. This does not mean anything about the guy in the foreground, the guy up front. Ignorance, this is not about you, or not about this guy. Big Easy, thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming over. Tell all your friends. Silence said, come over to the cool kids. Why read the post when we can have you explain it to us? Asylum, Ken, fuck you too. But at least you read it. And it looks like, did DirecTV go? I used to say it that way so you know what I was talking about. Okay. According to this, my DirecTV is losing its capabilities. Maybe. Severe weather here in Hillsborough. The original track of Hurricane Debbie that was originally coming over my way went further west. So it's sucking a lot of the moisture in and around the Gulf, hitting the Big Bend area, which is obviously like the crooked portion of where the phallus of Florida would be, with the little ball area behind it. I think that's Escambia County. Sorry, it's too easy. It's called the Big Bend area, but that's where the storm's going. And blessings and care to all the people that are going to get the brunt of the storm. But I've already had water damage. And I put sandbags in front of my front door because that seems to be an issue. But we got to get was it the first mate of the house already noticed that there was some damage in another area, so I got to get an extender from one of the downspouts. So I'll do that the next time I can leave the house without getting rained on. But the thing about ignorance was, and by the way, I'll open it up pretty soon. So I'm going to just go off. When I was in Sam's Club today, because I have come into the new generation of those who have air fryers. Up until about 2:00 this afternoon, I never had an air fryer. And all these people are saying, "Oh man, well, you've had an air fryer. You can do this, you can do that." When I was at the Olive Garden the other day, so I just wanted some soup. Went and got soup and salad and stuff. And I said that, the rolls they're not really good when you get them as leftovers. And she goes, "Oh, well, if you had an air fryer, just put them in the air fryer and they're fresh." And these people say, "Well, hey, if you had an air fryer, you can cook this, that, and the other thing. It'd be great." So we went to Sam's Club today, and they had an air fryer company. I don't know. Is it like a 6 or 7 quart air fryer? And it was for $40. $40. I mean, I was going online and the ones that I saw were like 150, 125. And this one was $40. You bet your sweet ass I bought it. Actually, that's why we were going to get it. Plus, we were running out of I'm been getting these a lot. Is the Crustables or Uncrustables? The peanut butter and jelly sandwiches without the crusts. We were running out of those, so I got 2 boxes, both jelly. Both strawberry jelly and grape jelly. Got 2 more boxes of that. Got a box of friggin' corn dogs because it's easy to make. And I'm not eating as much. So I got the air fryer, and we got some stuff for the lawn. Those little wickets that are like solar lights, because we got to get there some old ones. So I got to replace them. And whoever's here for the Tampa game. When I open up the house for to see the room, you come in and see the room. You'll see the lawn. You'll see the lights, and hopefully my lawn will be, a lot better than it was because I put weed, feed, and seed in it the last 2 weeks. Now it's raining, so that's coming around. So at least the lawn looks better. If it were to flood, how deep would it get? We've never had flooding here because we're about 25 feet above sea level at this area. Plus, I'm on a hill, and the areas that are around me are lower. They're, like I said, when it floods, there's an area up the street that it's like a pond in the middle of the ocean. There's like a pond where it just wipes out the road because that's where the water collects. But I've never had any, and I got to do this. There you go. Knock wood. We haven't had it. I've lived here 23 years. not eating as much as the diabetes things like you and me. It's also the medicine I'm on. The Trulicity, I think, is one of the side effects. But no matter. My wife has one, no idea. Yeah, I'll hit the. Thank you for hit the likes. Thank you there, Jack. Hit the likes while you're here. Let's get you back to football. How concerned are you on the running back room? I'm not concerned at all. And see, no, we're talking about real shit. We're talking about fucking food. Talking about food. Oh, this is the Algerian girl. This is the girl that won the gold, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think she won the gold. And I don't think did Suni Lee medal in this? If she medaled, I think she got the bronze. I think she got the bronze. But yeah, corn dogs, man, I can't wait. But instead of I don't microwave shit, and I'll put pizza. I don't microwave pizza. I put it in the toaster oven. Now I'm going to put it in the air fryer, so it'll be cool. But how concerned am I about the running back room? I'm not. She was bronze, and hey, thanks, Big Easy. See, there you go, Captain. How many running backs do the Raiders keep? 4 or 5? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because we have Zeus, right? We got Zeus, we got Madison, we got Dylan Lobby. Those 3 guys make it for sure, right? So there's 3. There's Abdullah, maybe 4. Am I missing anybody major? Because I think it's going to be Abdullah or Lobby, and that's 3A and 3B. And I think Lobby will make it. So if they keep Abdullah, that would be the 4th, and they might not keep him. But they're going to keep Zeus. They're going to keep Madison. They're going to keep Dylan Lobby. And if they need other people, they need more offensive linemen. I think that they will just keep those 3. Maybe Abdullah, but I'd say, but I'm not concerned. Are you, Jack? Your thoughts on Minshew as a starter? Hey. Whoever wins. And I've said this, seriously. If Minshew starts, or if AOC 12 starts, or if Anthony Brown starts, I'm all behind him. I'm all for it. You know why? Because I'm not an expert. Far be it for me to be an expert because I have a YouTube show. And this ignorance thought that I had as well was also a swipe at those that do shows that consider themselves experts. What makes you an expert just because you have a YouTube show? What makes you an expert just because you get IG hits? You're not a fucking expert. I'm not a fucking expert. I know a lot, but I'm not an expert. In the military, I am a subject matter expert because I've been in the analytical field for 38 fucking years. I am an expert there in analysis. So if you take my expert analysis and mix it with my football knowledge, maybe I'm an expert, but I've never worked for an NFL franchise. So I guess I would be an expert that has never worked officially for the NFL or for a franchise. So I guess I'm up there. But just because you have a lot of Instagram hits And just because you have a lot of YouTube followers, I don't. I'm very happy with my 2,200. At least it was 22 the last time I checked. You're not a fucking expert. If you take a fucking Kermit doll to fucking camp, you're not an expert. If you have a YouTube show that has 3 to 4 times as many subscribers than I do, I have 2,200. So figure if you have 44, 66, 88, if you have that many subscribers, you have a lot of subscribers, but you're not an expert. There are plenty of people that I know that have over 8,000 subscribers, and they profess to being an expert. You know, the person that I can say is an expert that's on YouTube is fucking Stuart Schweigert. He's an expert. You know why? Because he's played the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? But think it's a little thin, even with keeping some of them on the practice. Jack, we're good. And I agree with Hollywood. We keep 4. Britton and Sincere McCormick, they're practice squad. Britton Brown, because he can't fucking stay healthy, and Sincere McCormick for the same reason. I think that Abdullah gets the 4th spot, and the other guys are practice squad material. And Hollywood, dude, Hollywood's an expert in eating. I wouldn't say that. I would say you are a food connoisseur. You, sir, are a food connoisseur. It sounds a lot better, too. Has that smack of aristocracy, right? I am a food connoisseur. I'm talking as I am Hollywood Raider, a.k.a. because I know your real name, not going to say it, because nobody fucking business what your real name is unless you tell them. I'm Hollywood, a.k.a. and I am a food connoisseur. I am, and I'll say my name, I'm Captain Jack, a.k.a. Jay Levy, and I am a food connoisseur. You know why? Because I got a big fucking belly and I've had a lot of good food. And as Dandy Don tells me, I need to eat better. That's true. And I say at the tip of the hat to you, Hollywood, because you're my buddy. No, Doug, I am not going to the practices. Maybe Hollywood is. I've already been asked about my tickets, and I know that I'm going to be giving Angelo at least one set, maybe both sets. Okay, so there you go. But I'm not going to go. Maybe Hollywood will go. And I have the reason why I didn't say anything about it is I'm pretty sure Hollywood has a lot of other people that he can mac tickets off of. But Angelo, Big Easy, man, thank you for this as well. And this is where props should be going. When Jack Jones had his signing and Hollywood was there, Hollywood was like a de facto security guard and you know, all the things. I could have, by the way, Big Easy, I could have done it because I actually have the license in the state of Florida. Plus, I'm also going to be getting my concealed carry real soon. I'll do that another time if you need me to. But props to Hollywood Raider for all of his work at the Jack Jones signing. Doug's going on the 20th. Cool, Doug. Kenneth Clark, thank you, sir. Thank you, Kenneth Clark, for subscribing. Thank you for coming in. Ken, are you a Raiders fan? Because There are plenty of Raider fans here, but I let everybody talk. In fact, I've been going on and on and on. This is the longest I've been going on and on for a while, and I haven't even put the link up yet. And I only need to do, and this is the other thing, because I am a member of the Northeast or the National, because it used to be Northeast, National Streaming Sports Network on YouTube, which is Northeast Streaming Sports on YouTube, but also on Roku, National Streaming Sports, which there's ways to get there. Yeah, Jacksonville Jaguar. Good to see you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. I'm actually here in Tampa area. So Hollywood's already going both days. See, I figured as much. I said if Hollywood's got a ways to go, I'm sure that he's got his connections. So that is why I'm going to be giving my tickets to Angelo for his availability. Ken, I will say this. I don't, and thank you for subscribing. I hear things that I don't talk about, or I try not to talk about on my channel. Politics and religion. And I see your comment. I will say that I am more of that area of the, the right and the left. I'm more attuned to you, but I don't say that because you're going to piss off people that are on the other spectrum. So I don't talk politics. God, what a fucking mess they are, right? And you, hey, by the way, Ken, if you are, where are you located, sir? Because you're a Jags fan. Are you up north? Are you in the Jacksonville area? And you be safe as well. I'm here in the Tampa area, and it's out to sea, but I can hear the rain. You be safe as well. Palatka. Okay. Palatka. God, I know Palatka. I know the name. I know the name, but I can't remember because I'm from Orlando originally. And now I'm over here in Tampa. I do know the name Palatka. I just can't remember where the hell it is. But you stay safe, sir, please. And by the way, I'm going to put it here, if you want to talk about your team, did I fuck it up? I might have fucked it up. Hit the link. Anthony, go on in. Kevin started to say your Gator or linebacker will be let go, maybe practice squad. If Bernie can't get his spot, because again, Bernie was a great pick last year, and maybe he's a special teams guy, but he's going to have to perform. And I tell you what, the guy that we got in the draft is being raved about, right? At linebacker, he's being raved about. So if you would like to go to and get the link, hit the link up there. There might be an extra little line there. I don't see. I don't know whether wait, let's see here. Okay. I'm going to see if it came up again. I went over to my YouTube. See if the link is correct. I don't see chat. Maybe chat will come up. I don't know if it came up. Shit. Oh, okay. Maybe it did come up. Okay, good. Hit the link. Hit the link. Maybe disregard that little extra twick at the end. Yeah, there you go. Tommy fucking Eichenberg. What a great guy. But for Kenneth Clark, the Jags fan, if you'd like to come in, that'd be cool. Come on in and talk about Jaguars. 10-8. Anthony says we're 10-8. I think actually it would be 10-7, right? You're talking about, yeah, we play 17 games, not 16 anymore. I think we can win 10 games. And I am so confident in that, I am actually going to put money on it. 11-6. There's Asylums. Anthony has us winning a playoff game or losing a playoff game, or at least going to the playoffs, because that's what he says, 10-8. I can agree with that. If you want to come get into the show, hit the link and talk about whatever, because there ain't shit on TV, because I can't. The direct TV feed, you know how when you lose a channel, it says direct TV and it bounces in the corners, like the old Atari, keeps bouncing and then it hits and then it goes up and then it goes again. And Jimmy Farrell, aka Raider Eeyore, says 11 is pushing it. Jimmy would probably say the most wins we're going to have is 10. But he'd probably be more amenable to saying 8 or 9 wins. I know Jimmy Farrell. Oh, yeah. Probably going to have only 8 or 9 wins. Right? Silent thinks 11. Anthony says 10. And I like this one. I don't think it's a bad, bold prediction. I think that can happen. I'm willing to put money on that too. Win the division? Sure. Win the AFC West? Yes. I can see that. Are you coming to the Raiders versus Buccaneers game? Yes, I am. Rob Thompson. Good to see you, Rob. I have front row seat behind the Raiders. Actually, it's astride the Raiders bench, 30-yard line, so you can see the game and the Raiders over here. Okay, inshallah, God willing, on December 8th, when the Raiders play the Bucs, I will be there at the stadium alive. I actually have a front row ticket I am raffling. Big Easy says we're going to shock the world. Rob, I will see you at the Raiders Bucs game. If you know somebody who wants to raffle in for a ticket, hit me up on my Facebook. Jimmy Farrell said 10, which is, wow, Jimmy Farrell says 10. Now I'm going to put the link up again, so hopefully we'll have somebody come into the show. I love talking because we are at the hour, and per National Streaming Sports, I'm only on for an hour with them. The first hour of my show is on National Streaming Sports. Blessings to all of you folks out there at National Streaming Sports Land. If you're watching just on that channel, come over to my YouTube at Captain Jack. In fact, let's see here. I'm gonna hide this real quick. It's Captain Jack Rackham Levy on YouTube. Go there. Go there if you're on YouTube, or if you're just not on my channel. But come on over and yeah, Ken Clark, you can actually talk NASCAR as well. The one thing I like about NASCAR is that they have their Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, the Daytona 500. That's cool. Then you have the Firecracker 400 still in July, right? And Jack Kennett, gosh darn it, he's true. Why is he the only one that gave me a like? Give me a like. The link didn't work. Send it again. Okay. Look it up. I sent it. And I know it works. You know why? Because Anthony Provencio is here. It's been a while. I'm going to bring Anthony on. Anthony, how you doing, bro? Good to hear from you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, brother. How you doing?
All right, good. How you doing, Jack? How you doing, Captain?
I'm good, man. What's going on? What's going on in your neck of the woods, man?
Just watering the grass, chilling. Hey, have you heard about this scrimmage? A lot of people are talking about the scrimmage. I don't know shit about what happened in the scrimmage.
Okay, hang on a second, Ant. I don't know why the. Okay, maybe. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to look at my settings here because I don't know why I can't hear you.
Hello, check 1 2, check 1 2. Can you hear me? Hello, check 1 2.
Barely. I can hear you. I don't know why, but let me do this. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Go ahead and talk again.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's coming in. It's coming in here, so that we'll do that. So yeah, I can hear you through here. Yeah, go to get you. What? So you're now. Where are you at, Anthony? It's nice and sunny out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes,
Moreno Valley, California.
There you go, Moreno Valley. Now it's hot there. What's the temp today?
The highs was at 102. Highs at 102, wow. But it's gone down a little bit. It's gone down a little bit, but the highs was 102 today. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yours, as long as you're okay. Is that a cigar or is that a big doobie?
Black and Mild.
Okay, so a cigar. Okay, I know what a Black and Mild is. It's been a while, Anthony, and like I said, it's always good to hear from you. And like I said, by the way, you can fucking swear now. You can swear now, because it used to be that Anthony would come on and I said, Anthony, you can't swear, but now you can. So you can just fucking let it rip.
Hey, did you hear about the scrimmage at all? A lot of people are tripping about the scrimmage. I don't know anything about what happened during the scrimmage. Do you know anything about what happened during the scrimmage?
A recent scrimmage like today? Who are they? First off, who are they scrimmaging?
Each other. I heard that we had some sort of late scrimmage yesterday against each other. People are talking about it. You heard about that at all?
No. I to be honest, I've been getting ready for the hurricane or / tropical storm, getting extra things, buying shit as needed, and watching the Olympics and watching other things on like pay TV. Like in my I watch Paramount because I'm a big NCIS guy. Hey Jack, I see you. We're gonna have Jack Ken on in a little bit. So, excuse me. Ooh, pardon me. I had a hiccup burp. Ed Winchell said Minshew kicked ass and Aiden O'Connell threw a pick. But hey, it's the offense. The offense is going to be behind the defense. It's easier for the defense, which basically didn't change anybody and didn't change scheme, to come in here, and it's going to be up to the offense to start getting shit. So that they're going to be ahead of the game. So I didn't hear anything real major about that. And again, in training camp, if there's a skirmish, that's normal because the players just they beat on each other, and that's why when you have scrimmages with other teams, shit usually happens where there's like fisticuffs, because at least you're hitting on somebody that's not your teammate. So that'll probably happen. I don't know if they're going to be. I think aren't they scrimmaging like either the Rams or the Cowboys?
No, I heard that they ran in the stadium. They ran like a game type of scrimmage against each other, like offense versus defense, live game mode, live. And people are talking about it. I haven't heard much about it, but I was just wondering if people heard about it. I haven't heard nothing about it or how anybody did. But overall, I wanted to say I think that I just want to give a shout out to like the running backs. The running backs look better than I thought.
Good.
Zamir White looks like he's the guy. He looks pretty legit. Number 22, I didn't know Madison. Madison looks like a guy. Madison looks like a good player.
Yes, he's a great change of pace back. That's why I said we got Zeus White, Madison, and Dylan Lobby to come in and be our running back. If Abdul is number 4, we're good. We got a good set of running backs, and we don't have to really stress it.
Yeah, I didn't know when I was looking at the tapes, not the tapes, but the videos dropped from the Raiders YouTube Shorts, the little shorts, and I was seeing number 22. I was like, man, number 22 looks like a guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, Madison looks nice. I think Madison will be a good player. He was okay with the Vikings, but we've seen him in the silver and black in the here you go. Seeing Madison in the 22, kind of he looks like a guy. I think Madison looked good. Zeus is making noise. I'm very interested in our running backs. A lot of people are talking about O-line. Like, what do you think about our O-line, Cap? There's a lot of.
I like what we got in the offensive line. I know that because I know that at the very beginning of camp that Miller and JPJ were out with injuries, and they need to step up from those injuries. But that they've, everybody that's come in from there, like I said, Mumford was out for a little bit, and who is it? The tackle who came in? Oh, Glaze came in and played well for Mumford. And obviously, I think it's you got Parm, which who's on. Like I said, Parm needs to step up. Whitehair is going to be that. He knows the system from having played it in Chicago, so he'll be good. So I think that the O-line just needs to make sure that they stay healthy and that they gel, and it'll really work for them. I really do.
Yeah, like I'm pretty coming into the season. I was really excited, but I'm very frustrated that Cole Miller's hurt. Like, what the fuck's up with that? You had a whole year to get healthy. I'm hearing Jackson Powers isn't even like practicing or playing. Like I saw him as like a big part of our O-line.
I did too. Yeah.
Going into the season, I was very confident, but like I'm kind of worried about the O-line a little bit. I heard they're getting their ass kicked. People are hyping up DJ Glaze. I hear Max Crosby's getting mad about DJ Glaze. I don't know, man. Like, I want the offensive line. I feel like the offensive line is the key to our season.
Yes, they are.
No, sorry. Excuse me. I'm gonna tell my. 1 second. No. Yeah. 1 second. No.
You got it.
No. My dog is dumb. She's stupid. No.
No.
The other dogs are walking by and she's dumb. But anyways, I'm very, very concerned about the O-line. I was confident going in, but I don't know now. I hear people talking about, people saying during the scrimmage, Minshew showed why he got signed, and the O-line doesn't look good. And they did a little live scrimmage, and the offense got their ass kicked, and the O-line got their ass kicked. And there's a reason why Minshew got signed. And I feel like our season depends big time on the O-line, man. Like the first 4 games will tell us exactly what's going on, man. Like I'm very concerned about the O-line. What do you think? How do you feel about the O-line?
Well, like I said, I think the O-line will pan out. I think that they will. It's like I said, they got to gel, and I think that what you're going to need to see is you need to see them in the preseason games. I want to see them how they gel together. If the running game, because things are going to be predicated on our running game, not our passing game. Because when you have the guys we have back there in the stables, it's a lot easier to run and dictate the offense through running the ball than it is to. And then when you do throw it, you're going to have, those receivers are going to be able to be out, because who are you going to cover if you got to cover Devontae Adams, and then you have to cover Jacoby Myers. Then you have to cover Michael Mayer. And then you have to cover Brock Bowers, and then you got the lobby coming out of the backfield for the passing, on third down and whatnot. So as long as you run the ball, you keep running the ball, and they look good running the ball, it's going to be important. And like I think it was that Asylum was talking about with Colt Miller's injury, that's why they went out and they got Glaze to be that guy that can take those snaps. Like I said, Mumford's going to be there. It's unfortunate that Glaze might have to be that guy. Maybe Mumford might have to be our left tackle for a while, and Glaze is going to have to be the right tackle. But if Glaze can hold off Max Crosby and pisses Crosby off, that's a good thing, because Crosby is a top 10 performer in the NFL per what people think. So I'm good with that.
It's still
preseason though, so we'll see.
We all love Crosby. I love Crosby. Thank God us Raider fans got Crosby on our team. Like, Crosby sets the bar high. Crosby is the face of the Raiders, bro. Crosby's the face of. Hold on one second. Hold on. There you go. Crosby's the face of the team, and I got a shout out for DJ Glaze and Mumford. Crosby's gonna come with that heat, and he's gonna talk that shit. Glaze, Mumford, hold it down, man. Handle that monster. Get better. Crosby's. People are saying Crosby's mad because people are saying DJ Glaze is good. Good, Glaze. Handle your business, Glaze. Make a name for yourself. He looks like he can be good. He looks and he speaks well. And come on, Glaze. Like, handle that monster. We all love Crosby, but come on, Glaze. I'm rooting for you, Glaze. I'm rooting for you, Mumford. I'm rooting for this O-line.
I think that they will perform when it comes there, Anthony. I'm gonna get with Jack Kenna because he's in the back and he's waiting to come on. But hey, thanks for coming in, brother, and you take care of yourself out there. Stay cool in 102.
Oh yeah, it's calmed down now. It's probably like around like I don't know the weather report right now, but it's around like 90 or something. I don't know, but yeah,
90's daily out here.
I got
90's daily. But
for the O-line. Come on, man. Come on, O-line.
We'll be there, man. We'll be there. And Anthony, thanks for coming in, brother. You take care of yourself. Pop in anytime.
Well, I'll talk to you later, Jack.
All right. That's my boy, Anthony. I like to say Anthony. Anthony, how you doing? Anthony Provencio. And then you go from an Italian to a Irishman. Faith Migora. We got the big Mick himself, Jack McKenna.
Top of the day to the Raider Nation.
To you, Blarney, and all the other bullshit you.
Hey, AP, Anthony Parencio. Man, I wish you would have kept him on. Just brought me on with him because, you know what? I love AP. Because I talk to him in chats all the time. Salute right there. He's another brother.
He is. And I want to put this up. Kenneth Clark, if you want to talk about wrestling, hit the link and we'll talk wrestling. That's
when I get off because you know what, that fake stuff. I don't want any part of that. So let's talk about some football.
Okay, let's talk. Let's go.
So you talked about the running backs. I see four. Yeah. And I asked the question. I'm like, are they going to keep five? But with the linemen, being hurt, what Anthony Parencio just said, it's a Colton Miller. Our stalwart left tackle, completely solid. He still hasn't come back. And then our number 2 pick, and JPJ is out there. But they're like the same type of injuries, shoulder injuries. And now you got to put Pete. And I wasn't expecting Whitehair to go in at left guard. I kind of expected him to fight for the right guard position. And I said Meredith is going to be cut. Now I'm kind of wondering, man, you might have to keep Meredith.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of scary over there on the offensive line. You know what? the Raider Nation is like, sees like the quarterback battle, and our quarterbacks are not doing great. Well, when half of your best side of the offensive line is out, yeah, against the defense that the Raiders have, woo, yeah, I can see them not doing well. AP says, I want to see someone step up. I want to see someone step up too. But I don't see anyone stepping up until we get some solidarity on that offensive line. That's right now is like the biggest and scariest thing. And other things that scare me too is like when you don't hear words like you guys like Tyree Wilson, you don't hear anything. And a defensive line is like doing well. And you don't hear, things like Zeus doing much. But you hear about Labe. Labe is like, he's probably the best kid coming out of the camp right now at running back. So it's like what you hear and what you don't hear tells a lot about this team. So some of it's kind of scary, some of it's kind of positive, but woo. I want to hear more about the starters that we have. Not guys like, coming in as rookies and they're showing out. So thank you, Labe, because you're probably the number one guy right now at an entire Raiders camp, stepping up and showing what you can do.
Well, I heard a lot of good things about Eichenberg as well, and being the other rookie that they're talking about.
Yeah, but the thing I hear about Eichenberg is like, he's the same as Luke Masterson, and he's the same thing about, our starting defensive, middle linebacker. So they all play the same spot. I want to see a linebacker that, like, again, I put in your chat earlier, you're a Florida Gator. I want the off linebacker I want to see someone there. I want to see the off linebacker, not the middle linebacker. I want to see the off linebacker do something. So are you going to tell me that, like, Massenberg or Eichenberg is going to be the off linebacker? Yeah.
No, actually, if you're gonna say that, Amari Burney would be the off linebacker for that, because again, you said it, Eichenberg and Masterson are basically the same guy.
They're all three the same kind of type of guys,
well,
which is really cool, but at the same time,
Amari Burney is a coverage guy over those guys because he played safety at Florida, so he could be a more of a tweener and be the off linebacker that can cover and rush. Okay. Whereas Masterson and Eichenberg are the typical Mikes in what I would see.
So do you see Bernie making this roster? Honestly, I don't right now.
Well, honestly, Jack, it depends upon who they think is going to be better. Oh, and again, thank you there, Asylum. Spillane is the guy.
Well, Spillane is definitely the guy. It's like, I look at the Raiders right now with $34 million in salary cap. And I'm going to put it in order for the Raider Nation. Number one for me is Nate Hobbs. I want Nate Hobbs resigned. Number two would be Coons. Could you get him cheaper? Because that is a position of worth, and it costs a shitload of money. So I want to get Coons in there again. Because again, I have not heard much about Tyree. So I want Coons resigned. And then number three is Moorig, our free safety. And then you could go number four. Yeah, then it's like a toss-up between Spillane or Epps. I kind of want Spillane because, Spillane, man, 148 tackles last year? That dude, he cooked. He cooked. Mm-hmm. We were all sad about Perriman. Man, he made all the Raider Nation, didn't even think about Perriman anymore.
52 who? Another 50 who? Because the previous 52 left, and then Perryman was 52. It's like, who? 52, 50 who? Who cares? Okay.
Hey, it's Cool Kev. I see Cool Kev in the house, dude. Salute, brother.
Well, I think that, like I said, if you're going to have an off linebacker, if you're mentioning those people, Eichenberg is a Mike, Spillane is a Mike. Then you got Divine Diablo, who's an off.
He's an off.
Bernie is another off. He's an off.
He is an off. So that's an interesting conversation right there in itself. Because, you look at like the guys that we have to resign, and he's still on a rookie contract. So, yeah, that I don't honestly. I know you're a Gator fan, so you know more about him than I do. I don't watch him. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so
No, you take those for that.
If Diablo goes, then who's going to step in for him?
Well, okay, and this is something that's important. Okay, is that
It is important.
And Asylum was saying in a 4-2-5, who are your two starting linebackers? Okay, obviously it's Spillane and Diablo, right? And if you're going to have somebody that's coming in, then you're going to need guys to come in behind them, which would be Eichenberg, right, to come in to spell Spillane in that mold, and Bernie to come in and spell Diablo is what I would think. And then you're going to need a special team guy, especially with the new kickoff rules. You're going to need at least somebody there that can just knock heads. Bernie can do that, and he can be another off guy, like I said. So his spot is, I think, is more solidified than Madison. Okay, because he only made the team because the other guy got injured. Okay. I
haven't heard anything about Madison or Bernie this whole training camp. Not one word. And that's the thing. It's like when you don't hear words about a player, it's like it makes you kind of nervous, right? If you don't hear anything about him, your head coach is not saying, the DC, the offensive coordinators, like everybody, you talk about players, and I'm not hearing a word about him, and I'm not even hearing a word about Tyree either. So that kind of makes me nervous about Tyree. It's like you're the number 7 pick overall in the draft, and now I'm starting to look at him like I look at depth charts. Everyone's got to list him as a defensive tackle, not a defensive end. You know what Patrick Graham said? Oh, he's going to go back in at DT. That to me is just like another Cleve Farrell, another hit and miss. So NASCAR, I'm cool with that, but I want to see that kid develop. So we got some deficiencies, as a whole, as a team, and I want to see like the Raiders, do things and get players in those positions where they need to be. Yes, we are stacked at a lot of positions on defense, but that off linebacker is not one of them.
Okay. And Asylum says, don't worry about Tyree.
All right. Asylum, why? Give me a reason why. I am kind of concerned.
Well, sometimes no news is good news. Remember, everybody was bitching about Tyree wasn't doing X, Y, and Z, but, he was doing his job, which was, at the time, was filling the gaps, making sure nobody was going around him. He wasn't getting the sacks, but people weren't going around him on the edge, okay? So he was doing his job. So and the fact that you don't hear anything about him, maybe that's more of a good thing than anything else. They're talking about other people that have showed that, then maybe those are the type of people that you need to, pump up a little bit, for ego, because there are some people that need it and then some people that don't. I'm just saying there's plenty of reasons why you might not hear things, or that this guy has got his roster spot, so I'm not going to pimp him in the press, so that other people might think of about maybe, God forbid, if he doesn't make the 53 and he goes on the practice squad and somebody takes him from him. I mean, there's plenty of reasons why.
Well, I guess I'm a little different in that aspect because, I hear like guys like Hobb, stepping up, or Ja'Cory Bennett saying like, stop disrespecting that kid. He's doing well. And I'm glad now. When free agency happened, I wanted Xavier Howard to come into our team. And I'm glad the Raiders didn't do it. I'm glad Tom T didn't do that and give Bennett a chance. And I want to see Richardson, our 4th-round draft pick, to see what he can do too. Long term, because we need to re-sign a lot of our players. So I'm happy about that. The one player that I kind of an oddball situation was John Jenkins. I mean, have you heard anything? It's like, why was he MIA? Brian Young took over for the first day, like being a starter, and then Butler took over the second day, being a starter. Where was Jenkins? He wasn't hurt. I mean, does anyone in the Raider Nation know? If you know it, please post it in the chat. Where has John Jenkins been?
Just because you don't hear about them doesn't mean that their spots are in jeopardy. You know, just because you're not. You have how many people in camp? You got 100 people in camp, right? And you think that all the coaches are going to talk about all the players just because they're going to make X, Y, and Z make them feel good? Okay. So, and this is a good comment by Cool Kev. You know, Jenkins is a vet, and he's probably getting veterans rest. You know, he's getting veterans rest. Wilkins is getting star rest. Okay. They don't want to lose them to, you know, Knicks early on, because when you need them later on in the season. I'm just saying there's plenty of reasons why you may or may not be hearing from them. And yeah, unknown Raider guy. Yeah, we talked about that red crap that John Gruden had to wear, but he's Andy Reid's guest. He's Andy Reid's friend. And in order to, you know, for example, and I'll tell you this, okay? I was invited to a Dodgers event with one of my friends. Shut up, Kenna, okay? I was invited to a Dodgers event, and it was for this upcoming series with the Phillies. And I said, well, and of course I'm a Phillies fan, but out of respect, I said, I won't wear my Phillies jersey when I'm at a Dodgers event, because it's a Dodgers event and I am the guest of the Dodgers and of my friends. So out of respect, I'm going to wear a Jackie Robinson jersey, right? Out of respect. If John Gruden's in Kansas City, he's not going to be wearing Raider gear. Do I like it? No, I don't like it, but that's what you got to do. You got to do.
Isn't Gruden now tied with Carr again in New Orleans?
No, he was an advisor for the Saints last year. That was last year. He's a free agent. He had like a consulting deal with the Saints last year. He can consult for anybody now because his case is still being reviewed. He doesn't have any ties to any particular team. He's a free agent. If some TV people want him to pay for him, he's a free agent that way too. But he's kind of radioactive in the fact that nobody wants to give him a permanent job that pays a lot of money until they figure out the ramifications of that deal, of that case. You know, I agree. They're not going to do it.
Man, I saw that. It's like, you know, it did hurt seeing, you know, JG wearing those colors. I'm like, I didn't like that.
Well, you know what?
Kev, you should come on this show, dude. Kev, come on.
Yeah, again, we don't like it, but you play the game. You play the game. And as long as there's nothing made, it's like all it is a photo. You know what? And it pisses me off. But who's the guy that was the boy? You know that guy. You know the rapper that was a big time Raiders fan. He goes to Kansas City and wears Kansas City gear for his show, right? They show him for the playoffs. And he's in full-fledged Kansas City gear, right? Flavor Flav. Thanks, Gav. Flavor Flav. And that was sickening. But he had to play the game. Now, here's the other thing, though. Would Ice with Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube would never do that shit.
Exactly. He would turn it down because he knows I would have to play the game, and I don't want to play that game. Fuck you. Okay? That's where it goes.
Flavor, but doesn't that have to do with like you to wear like the big watch around his, his chest?
Clock. Yeah, the big alarm clock. He would wear the big alarm clock. He says he's a Raiders fan, right?
And a bunch of gold teeth or like
Right.
fake
right.
gold teeth, whatever it was.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. It's like Snoop Dogg was professing to be a Raiders. Snoop Dogg's a fucking Steelers fan. So
Silent, is that true?
Has worn both Browns and Falcons jerseys? Maybe, but I don't recall. I'm sure if there are pictures of it, you could probably Google it. Ice Cube Browns jersey, Ice Cube Falcons jersey. I think I recall him wearing a Falcons jersey. That I remember. But yeah, Snoop is a Pittsburgh Steeler, and he's trying to throw it that I grew up in the hood too, just like with all the guys. And no, he's a fucking Steelers fan.
So I have a question for you, Cap, and I have a question for the nation. Since we just talked about John Jenkins not being there, maybe because he's a vet, he's 35 years old, he's the oldest guy on the defensive line. But McCall, a younger player, like
bigger.
And he was like 350 pounds. He was like huge, a monster.
Yeah,
and he's the only true defensive nose tackle on the roster besides Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Raider Nation knows our deepest position is our defensive tackles. And you can only keep so many of them. Is he a guy that you see making the roster? And I'll give you my opinion afterwards.
I would now, if it comes down to that they are even, I'd keep McCall because he's younger, he's bigger, and he has more upside. But here's the thing: if they are even, you keep the younger guy, right? And he's probably not making the coin that Jenkins is making, okay? But I don't think it is even. I think Jenkins is the higher guy with money, along with ability and with seniority. So you're probably going to keep Jenkins. Like I said, if all things are even. Things aren't even there, Jack. You don't know what it is.
I can't say it's even. I think Jenkins right now, he's a guy you plug and play for the first 2 downs. And then you get guys like Butler in. And then if you go NASCAR, then you move Tyree in there. But Twan, the fellas in the chat know Twan. Twan has been hyping McCall up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, because he's younger, he's bigger. He lost 10, 15 pounds this year to be more in shape to do this. And honestly, I think this is Jenkins' last year. I don't no matter what he does, I think it's pretty much he's done after this year.
If he even makes it, maybe McCall makes it. And don't sleep on Brown, the kid that came out of Alabama, because everybody was saying how he fucked up.
Young?
Yeah, whatever, Young.
Brian Young.
Yeah, Brian Young. He had just about the same amount of stats in college that Carter did at UGA at Alabama, okay? And this is his 3rd year, I believe.
2nd.
Okay.
We drafted him last year. What's kind of crazy, it's when we drafted Young, I liked that pick.
Yeah.
And I didn't like, the wide receiver pick at the time. What's his name? Number 11, who now is our slot wide receiver. Now I'm loved it. I remembered him against Notre Dame, and he whooped butt. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, Tucker.
Trucker.
or Turner?
No,
No,
Trucker.
not Trucker. It's not Trucker. There is no R there. It's either Tucker or Turner. You're putting them both together and you're getting Trucker. It's Tucker.
Then it's going to be Tucker.
Yeah.
I didn't like that pick at the time, but then I remember the Notre Dame game, and I'm like, he whooped butt. Whooped butt, and I'm like, wow, this kid, he's the fastest guy on the wide receivers that are out there. He can stretch the field. He can open things up. So I'm happy that we got him. Yeah, and Brian Young, they said he's a pass rushing defensive tackle. Never saw the field last year. Went down to the practice squad. And then when Jenkins was out, he was the first guy to get some snaps. So I see AP giving all the young players a chance. Okay, you got drafted. We're going to give you a chance. So I like what he's doing there too, as a head coach.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to talk about this, and thank you, 75 Raider 7528. If you're not new, thank you for coming in. So you say you have an NFL source. That's cool. Several sources from player Tom Telesco isn't excited about any of the quarterbacks in next year's draft. Okay, I agree with that to a point, because the next year's quarterback class is, you got Shedeur Sanders. You have the kid out of I think he's out of Texas. That is a Heisman candidate. I can't remember what his name is, but other than him, I don't know of any major quarterbacks in that class. I said Sanders gets a lot of pub. The kid out of Texas gets that he's actually the kid that's holding off Manning at Texas. Because he's such a stud. He's the one that's holding off Texas. So, there's really not any quarterbacks speak of as of now. But then again, you also will have possible, free agent quarterbacks from teams that maybe want to, cut loose salary cap. But I hope that we don't have to resort to that. I'm hoping that we have found whoever is in camp right now between the quarterbacks that we have. Hopefully they are one of those guys is going to be our quarterback of the future through next year and the year beyond. So there you
please. That's what God bless, I hope for. So I got a question for all the Raider fans in the chat right now, which are all great Raider fans. Let's say we don't find it. Let's say we don't have this year.
This is Jack's question, his last question. Now I'm going to open it up for somebody else to come in. Okay.
Yeah,
Jack,
I need to go anyways because I got to eat dinner. But you know what? This is a great debate. Great question. So let's say we don't find it this year. I hope we do. Honest to God, please let us find our quarterback so we don't have to trade a bunch of draft picks. We don't have to spend a bunch of money into getting a free agent quarterback. But what if we don't? What does every Raider fan in the chat want to do?
Concerning what?
In a way of getting a quarterback, then are we going to trade up? Because this 6.5, Las Vegas, stat line, we're going to win 6.5 games. That's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, we're a better team than we were last year, so I can see another win or two over last season. So I feel like we're going to get there again. But, let's say we don't have the quarterback that we want. We have all the weapons for a quarterback. We have all the stuff stacked up, ready to go. And if we don't have that quarterback, I'm curious what everyone in Raider Nation would want to do. There's going to be guys like Dak that will be next year. I ain't spending $60 million for him. That dude would need to come with a haircut for sure. Or do we trade a bunch of picks to get our quarterback? What you just said, you don't see a lot. You don't see a lot in the draft. It's not like the draft this year. Like this year was a deep draft of quarterbacks, but we couldn't get done. What does Raider Nation want to do? And I will leave it at that. And I'll look at a chat. And I salute to you, Cap. I salute to everyone in the Raider Nation. Have a good night.
Thank you, Jack. And also, Jack, put that in the question. Raider Nation, what do you want to do at the quarterback spot for next year? Next year, not this year, because this year is done. Next year. And I by the way, this is a Tampa Bay Ray fedora pin hat. It's almost kind of like the houndstooth, Alabama hat that Bear used to do. Here's the thing you have to remember, though. Of all the teams that are probably going to suck, and I don't think we're going to be one of those teams. I think that we are not going to be a team that's going to be in the top 10. Okay? I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. Seriously. But Quinn Ewers is a very good quarterback. But, he's also the type of quarterback that people remind, that like he's Drake May or he's Bo Nix. Got a lot of arm strength, but does he know the playbook? And that's what people say. I don't know a lot about Ewers other than he's a big kid physically and that he can throw the ball. Okay. So Quinn Ewers is like that, and all these teams that suck have their quarterback, and most of them do. Most of those teams that are going to suck already have their quarterback, and then they're going to go down with their new quarterback. Because remember, the Falcons drafted their quarterback, okay? The Texans don't need a quarterback. The Bears don't need a quarterback. All these teams that are going to suck that have their quarterback, they don't need one. Here, Kenneth Clark, who is a Jags fan, who has Sunshine as his quarterback. Jags don't need a quarterback. And I'd ask Kenneth Clark what his team is going to be. They should have gone farther when they beat the friggin' Chargers in the playoffs a couple years ago. Then he ran into Kansas City, and we all know what happened. They didn't win. Was I rooting for Jacksonville. But which teams don't have their quarterback? Seriously, go through the rosters. The Raiders are the only team that I can think of that doesn't have their quarterback of the future already on their roster. Everybody in the AFC West has their quarterback, right? And other teams, think of the other teams that have their quarterback. Hurts and for the Eagles. Danny Dimes, even though he sucks, for the Giants, right? All these people that have their quarterbacks don't need one. Anthony, I don't, and I'm sorry to let you know, I don't do two visits in one show. So no offense. Anthony was back there and he popped back in. I don't do two visits in one. The only time I do that is if somebody gets bounced because the internet stopped and they were on, and I allowed them if they got bounced by the internet or they had a technical difficulty. But when you're on, and then you come back another time. It's not you. I hope you don't mind. Thank you, sir. Come in and one like the old Beetlejuice things, like that's why I only do one show a night. But come in. Like I said, Kenneth Clark is a Jags fan. Did the Jags need a quarterback? No. And they paid big coin for their quarterback. And I think they made a mistake, but that's me. And that's not hatred. It's just that what has he done? What has Herbert done? All these people that are Gargler fans are saying Justin Herbert is the second coming of whatever. He's a good quarterback, but what has he done? What has he done? Sheila China Jones is here. Thank you. We had some ladies. We had Dory. Dory was here. I think I saw Dory. Did I miss Dory? Because I know Dory came in first. I thought I saw Dory for a second. So we had Dory. We had China. And I know that we had what do you call it? We had Velvet. So we have 3 ladies tonight. I'm not seeing Dory. There you go. Dory. I knew I saw Dory. Good, Dory, I apologize. Dory popped in. So we have 3 ladies tonight. But I don't think we need to worry because of the teams that don't have their quarterback and they're going to suck. I think if the Raiders have a guy in mind, if it's Quinn Ewers, if it's Shedeur Sanders, if it's a quarterback to be determined, I don't know who it is, but if one of these guys shines and they're gonna be the quarterback, we'll see. But I don't think we need to worry about it this year. Anyway, if you want to come into the show, please do. And Anthony, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Like I said, unless you have like an issue with your internet, you know, I hate doing 2 people pop in again and again. But I appreciate you saying, "Hey, I want to come back and talk." But keep it in the comment section. It's not personal. And people are saying, you know, Dak Prescott. I don't want Dak Prescott, but he might be a Raider. The Raiders are notorious for signing, you know, quarterbacks that they think are going to lead them to the promised land. Jay Schrader, good friend of mine, by the way. Jay Schrader is going to be the guy. Kerry Collins is going to be the guy. Campbell is going to be the guy before he got injured. Carson Palmer is going to be the guy. And yet we're still waiting for a – when was the last time the Raiders had a playoff win? It was when they went to the Super Bowl under Rich Gannon. I don't want Dak Prescott. I don't want another number 4 quarterback for the rest of my life. Jeff George. Thank you, Big Easy. Jeff George. Although I think he was Jeff. Yeah. I think he was was it a normal Jeff? He thought he was a Jeff because of his mentality. He was so concealed. Jeff George was the most capable, physically gifted quarterback that the Raiders have ever had. Jeff George. Arm strength, knew the playbook, but he sucked because he couldn't get it done. Season record prediction. I think we can be. I think we can be 10-7. I think we can actually be higher. I think we can win the AFC West. Honestly, I can see us winning the AFC West. Now, I know that that's a little bit of hatred towards the Chiefs, but it's going to come down to the gelling of the offense. Yeah, Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor was gifted, but I don't think he had the quarterback wherewithal. I mean, Rich Gannon had the wherewithal, but he wasn't the most gifted physically guy. You know, and Terrell Pryor hurt himself, and so did, by the way, Tim Tebow, when people were saying, hey, you can make a lot of money if you change your position, okay? And Antoine Randall L did that, and Hines did that, both Steeler players. They were gifted quarterbacks in college, and they became stalwart receivers. But, you know, Terrell Pryor eventually tried to be a wide receiver, but it didn't pan out. I think if he would have done it earlier, you know, he probably maybe would have been in the league a little bit longer, right? And Tim Tebow would have been a great tight end. But that's just me. And I agree with Anthony. We got all the weapons we have on offense. It's going to come down to the line, both sides of the ball, the offensive line and the defensive line. Kenneth Clark, thank you for that. My thoughts on the new NFL rules. I know about the kickoff rule, and I didn't see the game, but you know that they're at a time that you can possibly have 12 guys on the field for the kicking team, and you're like, no, you can't. There's 11 on 11. No. And I don't know if this happened during the Hall of Fame game or not, but let's just say that it's windy because you need to have somebody hold the football to be kicked. Pardon me, because the rest of the guys are up front, right? The rest of the guys are up front, but so you can technically have 12 guys. I didn't see the new kickoff rule, but I think that it will do its job, that there won't be as many touchbacks. It will initiate forward progress. Yeah, I think you mean the 12th guy. 12th guy can only hold the ball. But he's on the field, right? I guess he needs to get off the field quickly. Yeah, the 12th guy. Because he needs to run. Can't be involved in the play, right? And then if he is, then it's probably a penalty, right? You know, interference or illegal procedure or something like that. Oh, it happened in the Hall of Fame game. Thanks, Asylum. But he has to run straight to the sidelines after the ball is okay. Well, good. But let's say if you want to be like a cheatriot, you run like you're running to the sidelines, but you know you trip and you get in the way, and then you go down and you can't get off the field, and you're quote unquote you're trying to get off the field, you know, but you can't get up, and you know. There you go. Whatever. I can see it. Oh, and you know what? That is, I would do that too, Big Easy. If you have the guy that's holding, right? Let's just say that I'd get my kicker off the field and then say, now you got the same amount of guys as I would do that. And I'm sure somebody's going to try until it's stipulated. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Big Easy, I want to thank for coming in. Kenneth Clark. I know I didn't say I like the new kickoff rule in the fact that it's going to It's going to bring more action in the kickoff game. What was there was another rule, and I can't remember what that rule was. I can't remember. There were two big rules. The kickoff rule was one. I can't remember what the other one was. Somebody's gonna have to tell me. But anyway, come back on the hip drop. Thank you. See there you go. The hip drop. Why? It's a fucking tackle. It's a fucking tackle. So now you can't hip drop them? It's not a horse collar. You can't hip drop them? Fuck you. The hip drop. I disagree with that one. Might as well put fucking flags on people. You can take all of the, we're trying to make it so that people don't get hurt. It's a contact fucking sport. Ken Clark, thank you. Hey, come in. Thank you for being a newer person to the show. Tell people to come in and talk about you. I would like to talk about your Jaguars. If you want to talk about wrestling, that's great. You want to talk about NASCAR, that's fine too. I'll admit this. You're not going to get a lot out of me on wrestling. I'll have to have somebody come in and do like the tag. Or you're gonna provide a lot of your own conversation. I can mention people in wrestling because I'm older. I go back to Dusty Rhodes and Jim Hacksaw Dugan, right? Old wrestling, archaic wrestling, and Ric Flair, old wrestling. And Miss Elizabeth with God, what was his name? Miss Elizabeth, and she had both guys with and was like with the girlfriend of the one guy, and with other things. Turning in a flag with Freddie Blassie, Vince Lombardi, Ric Flair. There you go. I'm old school, so if you want to talk about wrestling, we can do that. But we're gonna have to have input from other people. We got 2 minutes to go. I got to get out of here. Thanks again. Thank you. Have a great rest of your week upcoming. Thank you for being here. Take care. We will see you Wednesday on Northeast Streaming Sports. Go to that on YouTube along with National Streaming Sports Programming on Roku. Go there. On Wednesdays, I should be on that show, and then we'll be back Thursday as well. Take care, everybody. We'll see you. Yarr.